Welcome. Welcome, everyone, to the channel. My name is Ashley. On my channel, Ashley in Africa, I talk about my experience moving, living, and doing business here on the continent of Africa. Welcome. If you're new, welcome to the channel. If you're not new, welcome back. This is probably my second time going live, y'all. I hardly ever go live. The first time I went live, I was in South Africa. And the second time I'm going live, it's about South Africa. How about that? So if you want to be greeted, say hello in the chat. I will greet you. Like the stream and invite some people in so we can get talking. As you can see, the title of this stream is an African American in Cape Town, some things I did not expect. Welcome. Hi, Hannah. Kawonia. Did I say it right? Welcome. Hannah says she's going to South Africa in the next few weeks. Where are you going, Hannah? Let me know in the chat. If you want to be greeted, we've got about 15 people in. If you want to be greeted, say hello in the chat. Position thyself. Welcome. Musa, welcome. Kawania. That's what's up. Thank you for providing the enunciation. Makope. Did I say it right? Makope. Welcome, son of Al Kabulan. Welcome. Thank y'all for joining. I know I'm running a little bit late based on the post. I committed to doing more lives and interacting with y'all more. It's just hard to schedule these things. Like, as you can see, I'm late now, trying to get the kids down. They have school tomorrow. One has chores. The other one is fighting her sleep. So, it's just a challenge for me to schedule lives, but I'm going to do better. I appreciate y'all for joining me on this live to talk about Cape Town. I can't wait to get into it. But for now, everyone come in, say hello if you'd like to be greeted. Hannah, you say you're flying into Joburg. You'll stay there for a few days, and then you're going to Cape Town. Cape Town is amazing. And a month? Oh, yes. You're going to enjoy every moment. Andrea. Oh, you're in Johannesburg right now. I know. I can't imagine how you're about to feel going home. And I know you're going to be back. I'm actually back in Tanzania. Cape Town was such a full time that I immersed myself in the experience 100%. And I did capture some content. If you follow me on Instagram at Ashley in Africa, you got to see some of my experience, but I really just focused on being in the moment because Cape Town is captivating. For the folks that live there every day, like, y'all live the life. I mean, I know that there are challenges just like there are in any other place, but the beauty of Cape Town is unmatched. It is literally the most beautiful place I've been in my entire life. And I've been a few places, right? Like, I haven't been all over the world, but I have traveled the world, seen the world, been on several continents. And when I tell you Cape Town was the most beautiful place I've ever seen, ever been, like, emotionally beautiful. But there were a couple things that I experienced there that I was not expecting. So yeah, I can't wait to share. Tanzania is great. I spent the day actually leaving a friend's birthday party and spending time, with the girls. We're just trying to get back in the flow. Honestly, Tanzania is like easy life, right? It's the soft life. It's easy. It feels like a vacation all the time. But when I'm in South Africa, it's like go, 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 right? Dinners, shopping, just moving around, making moves, doing things. Where Tanzania is just like chilling, seeing friends, going to the beach, going to restaurants. Yeah. So Tskiso, did I say it right? Tskiso. You should visit Mpumalanga if you want to see the most beautiful place in South Africa. Listen, South Africa, just as a country, is unmatched. Okay. I'm convinced because the way that I felt about Durban when I first saw Durban was, oh my gosh, this place is beautiful. Um, and Johannesburg, of course, has energy, and certain parts of Johannesburg are just stunning. But Cape Town was just next level. Boo Boo Gang says you're in Tanzania now. It's like vacation until you have to go to immigration. Yes, true that. So get your papers together. Trinata, hi. How are you, love? So, Missy, are you relocating to South Africa? I've been talking about it on all of the videos. So yeah, let's get into it. So I want y'all to be able to ask me some questions. We'll get into questions a little bit later. If you have a question, do me a favor and put question before your question so I know which ones are questions, make sure that I answer, and which ones are comments. Okay. So again, welcome. My name is Ashley. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. On my channel, I talk about my experience moving, living, and doing business on the continent. I'm in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. I just got back yesterday from South Africa, from Cape Town, South Africa. Spent the most wonderful 6 days in the most beautiful country on earth, in my opinion, right? I loved it. And there were just some things that I was not expecting. And the first thing I wasn't expecting was how beautiful it was. And people talk about the beauty of Cape Town. They talk about it. You see Table Mountain, Lion's Head, like all of the photos. That's what you see. Like that's what they market and promote about Cape Town. But I wasn't prepared for all of the other dozens of capes that make up Cape Town. Right. So then I learned like, oh, this is why it's called Cape Town, because it's a city of capes or a town of capes. So I went to Camps Bay, Houghton Bay. I don't even remember. I wrote them down. Um, I was in Fish Hook, French Hook, Stellenbosch. It was captivating. I went to Capes Point. The beauty was captivating, breathtaking. Every corner, every turn, every drive, it was just like beautiful development, beautiful nature, infrastructure everywhere, everywhere. So it was absolutely beautiful. Hannah says, I could totally see myself moving to Cape Town. I could see myself living there. The lifestyle there is easy for those that have the means. Um, it is a luxurious lifestyle. It is luxury to the 1000th. It is beautiful. There are some of the most lovely spas, restaurants, from what I hear, some of the best schools, the real estate, the towns, the communities. Did I say restaurants? I think I said restaurants. And what I learned and what I understand about Cape Town is there is it's very cliquey, right? So I heard this before where you have to find communities of people to connect with. And I think especially as, African American, as a Black person, you you will find yourself you know, in a different experience, right? One of the things I also wasn't experiencing that I didn't have or wasn't expecting, because I was expecting a level of density for for Europeans, right? Because that's what they say, it's little Europe. I was expecting that, right? So I wasn't as shocked to see the amount of white people, Europeans there. Um, I wasn't, right? Like I was prepared and I did expect it. And I learned that for Black Africans, it's something that you should absolutely just, and prepare for and embrace and understand, like, right, like, I from afar I have been a little in my feelings and trying to understand why, but being there, I understand why they're there. It is the most beautiful place on earth, and they have a lifestyle that they cannot have in any European country, North American country, Australian town. Like, there, that lifestyle that is available to Europeans in South Africa is a lifestyle that they cannot have anywhere else in the world. That's why they're there. That's why they don't want us there. That's why they don't want you there. That's why they're going to tell you that it is the most dangerous city in the world, the most dangerous place in the world, because they don't want us there. Right? They want it to themselves. They want to keep it, preserve it, make it their nice little place, because the amount of wealth that is in Cape Town, South Africa, would it be there if it was the most dangerous place on earth? Like, and I've been to some dangerous cities. I've lived in some very dangerous cities. I'm not saying it is not, doesn't have its problems, doesn't have its challenges. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the amount of wealth in South Africa, Cape Town, South Africa, would not be there as concentrated as it is if it were the most dangerous place in the world, as the media portrays it to be, as they communicate it to be. I literally had family telling me, do not go there. It is not safe for Americans. It is not safe for Black people. Like, terrified. They're terrified. I mean, want to call the cops on me, trying to make it seem like I'm endangering my children because I want to take them to South Africa. That place is literally a hidden gem on purpose, right? So, beautiful. I mean, I just was not expecting that to that level. The landscape, right? So when you see Cape Town, you see the photos, all you really see is like Camps Bay, waterfront, VA waterfront, Houghton Bay. Is that right, y'all? You don't even see Houghton Bay or Hots Bay. But the landscape, the amount of capes, the hills, the mountains, the valleys, there's everywhere, every person, whether you live in a township or a multi-million rand home, you have a view of something. Like, there's a view, there are views to be had in Cape Town. And the landscape is just magnificent. The foliage, the nature, the trees, the greenery. It is breathtaking. Have I said that? I don't even know what other words to use. But it's just is mind blowing. So the landscape it's beautiful, right? Like, we rode an hour outside of Cape Town, probably about an hour and a half. We went to Stellenbosch. Breathtaking. I've shared some things to my story, and I'll do a little bit more of like a mini blog on my Instagram. I will try to upload some content from my trip later, but I didn't really get a whole lot. Y'all know I'm not the best blogger, right? I tried, but I got an Airbnb, and I think I got some places that we went and traveled to, but yeah, it's stunning. So you'll get some of that content on my Instagram if you follow me there. And if not, you may get some here too. I think my computer is gonna die, y'all. This is problematic because it was just at 30%, but it is going on and on. Okay, so let me hop into some of these questions. So, am I relocating to South Africa? Yes, I am, soon. Guess Kiso. Did I say it right? French Hook is nice. French Hook is amazing. Thinking about going to South Africa soon. Is it better to go to Johannesburg or Cape Town? Go to both. Go to both. I can't say which is which, experience both. What's up, Frequency Planet TV? Welcome. Hannah says, who doesn't want us there? Hannah, who do you think I'm talking about, Hannah? What you think I'm talking about? Is it beautiful there? If we're talking about Cape Town, South Africa, yes, it is. What's up, South Africa is my home. Stellenbosch is the wine capital city. You can export wines to America. South Africa, ranked number 4. I mean, some of the best wine in the world. I've always been very biased to South African wine. Even before visiting South Africa, I just always felt like South Africa has some of the best wine in the world. And while they like compare themselves to Napa Valley, like as Napa has the best wine, I've been to Napa several times. There's some decent wine there, but nothing like the wine available in South Africa. So I feel like South Africa has, again, some of the best wines in the world. Ben, let them know. Let them know what I'm talking about. Andy says, just like Kigali, Rwanda, everywhere you live has awesome views. Yes. And Gacious B, you'll be in South Africa in 2 weeks. Get ready. Your life will never be the same. Simi, I did. I visited. Oh no, I didn't. I didn't visit before. This was my first time. I think for Americans, South Africa is also visa free. Yes. So South Africa is visa free. Well, you do have to get a visa, but you get it on arrival and it's free. So you don't have to apply for it in advance. You can show up to South Africa and get an automatic 90-day visa. American African Year in Namibia. Beautiful. Southern Africa is similar in many ways. And I think one of the most distinct ways is the infrastructure. Oh, South Africa's your home. You're from Stellenbosch? Yo, Stellenbosch is gorgeous. It's gorgeous and it's developing. So there are still some beautiful, like, there's beautiful land available. The government releases its digital nomad visa. Yeah, I hear that they're doing it. And South Africa, they, I wouldn't say they move fast, but they move and they pay attention. So they do take action. And that's something that I really like about South Africa in general. I heard somebody say I fit in with the locals, right? So I had several people who were colored ask me what I was because they knew I wasn't colored. And when I looked at certain colored people or coloreds, I saw a very distinct indigenous look, right? I understand that there is controversy and there is concern and there is contrary beliefs around this term color. I actually sat down with a professor who is technically considered colored, but she herself had done her genealogy to trace her ancestral roots back to the Khoisan tribe, which are the original people of South Africa located in the Cape, right? Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. And she she was probably in her actually she was celebrating a birthday. So she was probably in her late 50s, early 60s. And she was there with her niece who was 13. And so her niece approached me and asked me what my ethnicity was, because she was like, you look like you're Black, but you're mixed with something. And so I asked her, how does she feel about the term? And she was like, it's stupid, it's racist, and I don't like it. And her aunt said, well, we've traced our lineage back to the original people, indigenous Khoisan people, and we're exploring more about that. So I believe that that is a renaissance that is happening for many of the people that are I don't want to say that are intermingling and exposing themselves outside of their colored communities, because that's essentially, from my experience and from my perspective, what has happened. What happened in South Africa post-apartheid, where they segmented people, and this was for safety, right? You had the white people safety and, reign or whatever. But at one point, coloreds were given more. They were given more privilege based on being colored over Africans, Black Africans, because coloreds are Africans, right? White people in South Africa are Africans. They're white African, they're Black African, they're colored African. And these groups were created by an apartheid regime, by a government that was doing it specifically to separate them. And so now you do, when you go places, certain places, even I was at a party and there were there were white people here, colored people here, Black people here. But during this party, that was when I was speaking with the professor, the sociology professor who was colored, and her niece who was colored, and they were sitting with us, the Black people, and we were having great conversation. And so while I think that these disparities do exist, there are barriers being broken, there are conversations being had, and there are people that are understanding how the term colored is probably not a term that they want to continue and carry on, right? So Trinata, you're asking what the word colored means. What does it mean? It sounds wrong. And as African Americans, it was a derogatory term that we were called, back in the 40s, 50s. And it is what separated us from white people, where it's very similar, but in Africa, it separated the South Africans of a certain color, texture hair from the Black Africans, which also separated them from the white so-called Dutch at the time, which they now call themselves. I don't know what they call themselves, but some of them say they are African. So we're just going to let them say in a world where people can call themselves what they want to call themselves, we'll let them call themselves what they want to call themselves. Tanya says she swears she hates the word. And, the reality is that this is what this group of people, massive group, mind you, I think when I looked at the population was almost about 5 million in South Africa, in Cape Town specifically. So in Cape Town, colored group represents about 45%. And then white European descendants represent about another 45%. And then the remaining, I think there's a 5 point something percent of Black Africans, and then the rest is just other. So yeah. So, that was my experience with the colored group, or my understanding of the colored group. And listen, they have communities, they have slang, they have dialect, they have music, food, so it's not and that's another thing, like coming into a different country with different culture, we must be open-minded, right? We can't come in with our perspective and our ideology and our criticism saying that's wrong or that sounds crazy. And while it evokes an emotion in me as an African American, because I come from a society where that term literally meant life or death if it was above a water fountain, humbling myself enough to say, okay, that was my experience. This is their experience. Let me not project my experience on them, and act to understand more why this is the way that it is, and be a learner, be an active learner and listener to someone else's perspective that is going through an entirely different experience than I am having, and honor that. Right. So that was my perspective. And I understand it. All right. So let me look into the comments. I hope that wasn't offensive to anyone. And if I offended you, please, or let me know if I kind of grasp that. And if not, I'd love to have a conversation, and dialogue around it. Which are you looking to leave there? Because the Black hair color area, white area. Tell him, Ben. um, so I love Tanzania. As I mentioned all the time, I love Tanzania. Tanzania is a nice life, but I also just love the energy of being in a metropolitan, world-class city, and those type of environments are available in South Africa. And my skill set is widely um, appreciated and enterprising in South Africa. So for me, Tanzania has been somewhat of a sabbatical experience where I was on sabbatical for about a year and have been able to strategize what's going to work for me in business and in personal life. And South Africa really fits the bill. And so Johannesburg was like top tier my choice and likely will still be because that's where I have the most community. But Cape Town is just, I love it. I love it. Yeah, so let's talk. I'd love to support you on your journey if you have an interest in moving or expanding your business to the continent, specifically Tanzania or South Africa. I'd love to work with you. You can connect with me on my calendar. The link is in the description. Hannah, is Cape Town food and drinks affordable? Like, what is the price like? Hannah, I want you to use Google Maps and go to restaurants in Cape Town. Search some restaurants and do some currency exchange prices, right? My affordable may not be your affordable. Your affordable may not be my affordable, right? So that's some research you can absolutely do on your own. For me and my family, Cape Town is affordable. Hi, Mike. Welcome. Is an essay like America 2.0 as far as racism? No. Position thyself, yes. Oh, I don't know what you're asking. Bawana, what's up, Ashley in Africa? Have you moved yet? Moved yet? What do you mean? Oh, Ben answered no, just like I answered to Miss Elaine, no. Correct. Colored people are very different at SA because some speak English and others speak Afrikaans. Depending on where they are in SA, their culture isn't the same. SA has dark skinned colored people too. Yeah, they do. They do. And I think where we were in French Hook, and also Stellenbosch, yeah, like some of them only speak Afrikaans because I'd say, they are still a minority. Let me not say they're a minority, right? Like they are not the majority. And in many ways, that has positioned them in an oppressive place in South African, societal rank. I don't know if that's even right the way that I'm saying it, but basically, they represent a big population of service providers um, and workers in a lot of these really upscale, higher end neighborhoods. Just to keep it 100. And so they speak the language required of them, which is Afrikaans. So yeah, it's an interesting experience. I was supposed to move to Mwanza, but it wasn't the right settling for me. I also need to live in a cosmopolitan hub. Yeah. When trying to grow a business in South Africa, do you think Joburg is a better place to do that? It depends on what your business is, Hannah. It depends. So for me, it was the best decision for me. Um, but I think I could probably work anywhere. And so from my perspective, that's what I thought. So that's what I went with. But yeah, um, property is expensive in Cape Town. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I didn't really look. I didn't look. I was just obsessed. I would be in Cape Town for sure in a marriage. That's how I would live in Cape Town. It would be a family move where I was building, in my marriage with my partner, but it would not likely be me as a single woman. No. From what I hear, Kenya and SA have a very similar cost of living. Um, I don't know about that. From what I understand, Kenya is a bit more expensive than South Africa. And again, South Africa is a country, so there are many places in South Africa. Um, there's very, very affordable living in much of South Africa. So it just really depends on the type of lifestyle you're looking for. And that's what I love about the continent. People, we can have these perspectives of this place versus that place, or this place is better versus that place. But the reality is, it's just, they're different. The lifestyle that you can live is going to be different all over this continent. And what a beautiful gift it is to have that option and not be forced to like choose and say, okay, I've got to live this way. Trinata, what do you mean? Is Swahili a shared language there as well? So many people in Tanzania do not speak English. Many people. So in a day, depending on how out and about you are, like today, I took some transportation out and about. I out of 5 people that I interacted with, 2 spoke English, and I understand a bit more than I can speak, but it does take some effort in getting to understand the message, getting to understand the language in order for you to feel a bit more comfortable. Back to SA, most especially in Cape Town. Hope you bump around sometime. Fila. Do people in South Africa ever assume you're a native South African? No, actually. I feel like people assume I'm Tanzanian before they assume I'm South African. They're like, where are you from in South Africa? Um, so no, they don't. In Tanzania, or does it have to be specific industry? Um, you can register a business. Simi asked if you do consulting work, is it possible to register your consultancy business? So you can register a business anywhere, right? So I do have a business registered in South Africa, and I also have a business registered here in Tanzania. Um, so yeah, you can do any type of business you like. Oh, it's South Africa is Swahili there. So no, it's not. The majority of South Africans speak English. There are words that are in Swahili, excuse me, that are in the Zulu language that are also Swahili words, or vice versa. Um, like nyoma or nyama, nyama, which is meat. In Swahili, it's also meat in Zulu. Um, that's the only one I could think of off the top of my head, but there are a few. They don't speak it, but some people understand it. Um, yeah, most commonly is Xhosa, Zulu, English, and Afrikaans, and Soto. Soto. Did I say that? Yeah, but people, my friend who's Zulu came to Tanzania and they started speaking to him. Yeah, they started speaking to him. What are you mixed with? Are you biracial? So I'm black, Lil Ernest. I'm black. My father was born in Korea to a black father and a Korean woman. So I am a quarter Korean. Okay, y'all. My computer is gonna die. So we can either y'all can hold on. If you want to hold on, put a 1 in the chat. If you want me to end the stream and we come back, put a 2 in the chat. But I have got to get my charger because it is going to die. Internet is great. My battery is dying. I do consultations on business process in Tanzania. Yes. So you can connect with me via the link below and we can do a consultation. I was asking because I thought learning one thing I could actually, okay, y'all want to hold on. All right. Okay, I'm back. I raced. Number one. Y'all hold on. Y'all are the truth. Okay, a couple people left. That's okay. They want to come back, they'll be back. All right. Ernest, you'll be in Cape Town in 3 weeks. I won't be there, or maybe I will, but you're going to love it. Oh, I am not still in Cape Town. I it was such a full time, and it was also vacation. So I didn't do a ton of like work. Actually, I did no work. Just spent some like really intentional time with myself. I am living wisdom, since you want to be cute now with the monkey emoji. Yeah, I think you should also be friends with people that are really important to you in life. So, yeah, being intentional with new relationships, new people that I'm really enjoying, and yes, just wanting to spend like some really intentional time. So, yes, Simi, you're wondering if I do consultations in person. Mm, not the first, right? If you're a client and we've worked together for a while, I would be open to it. But our first meeting, I'd prefer for it to be a virtual meeting because it's more efficient for you, likely, and for me as well. Yeah, live in wisdom. I am 25% Korean. Yes, I am. What am I like a messy pillows? This couch has seen its time. All right. Have you ever thought of settling South Korea for good? So my mom is not Korean, Vivian. And ironically, yes, I did consider South Korea. I actually considered Korea before I considered Africa because I had been there before. And I loved Korea. It was affordable, it was beautiful, it was a metropolitan city. I absolutely loved it. Um, but during COVID, their restrictions were really intense, and I didn't enjoy the experience of being in a very, I didn't enjoy that kind of idea. So I will still visit Korea. I love Korea. South Korea is a beautiful place, very advanced technologically. Um, but yeah. All right, living wisdom. Don't be giving me advice because you over here with me on YouTube. Okay. I'm not asking for advice, but thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your, you know, what you're saying in the comments. Okay. But yeah. All right. So, what were some of the other things I wasn't expecting? Oh, the domestically owned infrastructure. So, I made a statement in ignorance, like, oh, so what country built these roads? And I was quickly informed that all of the roads, all of the infrastructure is developed homegrown, right, by South Africans. And I was just like, wow, because, well, then why is the continent hiring Chinese and European infrastructure developments when South Africa can develop all of it? Can y'all hear me okay? Like, it's not giving great volume. Can y'all hear me okay? Give me a one in the comments if you can hear me okay. If it's low, give me a two. I appreciate your game, Living Wisdom. I am very much aware. When I feel comfortable talking about what's wet, you'll know. You'll absolutely know. Okay, great. Thank y'all. The little icon at the bottom is saying that my audio is not loud enough. So that must just be a glitch in the system. The video is frozen, but audio is fine. Uh-oh. Okay, well, maybe it's going to come back soon. All right. So yeah, those were the things I was not expecting, quite frankly. There's so much that I want to share. I'm going to do a couple of, I think maybe 2 or 3 other videos on some of my experiences, a little bit deeper dive into the effects that I noticed of, what's still happening post apartheid, but and just also like the amount of wealth and how we are convinced that Cape Town is the most dangerous city in the world, right? Like that part just, yeah, Ben, the most renowned architects and engineers. Yeah, I learned that that was another huge industry. So besides finance, because finance is a huge industry, insurance, finance, investment banking, like is South Africa, is Cape Town. The offices are there, and they wouldn't be there if the wealth wasn't there. Also, I think a lot of the big oil companies are there. I mean, the wealth is there. So I want to really talk about the economic position of Cape Town and, how and why they've got us convinced as people from all over the continent. Because even as I was leaving here, I've had Tanzanians say, are you not scared to go to South Africa, especially Cape Town? Like, they make you feel like you're gonna, I mean, we walk the streets late at night, 2 in the morning. I mean, we saw some security guards and you see a little people here and there, but it wasn't horrifically terrifying. Again, I know that there are neighborhoods where these things are realistic experiences for people, but it's just not true overall to convince an entire world that it is the most dangerous place on earth. While meanwhile, there are some of the most wealthiest people in the world that play and live and shop and dine. I mean, it did make me wonder, but the reality is that I think propaganda benefits those that it benefits, right? Like all forms of propaganda has a benefit to someone. So whatever that is, whether it's a medical jab, a medical device, hey everyone, this new thing is going to come and ravish your entire family. You better take 5 shots of it before it hurts you. Someone benefits from that. It is the manufacturer of said medical product, right? Or hey, everybody, this is a dangerous place. Everybody better get, some arsenals and some things to protect your family. Who benefits from that? The manufacturers of said arsenals and weaponry. So, it's just, there are people that benefit from the propaganda that is spewed in some form or fashion. And I want to talk a little bit more about that. I want to do a little bit more research before I just start spewing out information. But yeah, there's a reason why. Ali, thank you. I'm definitely I had so much wine. That's the other thing. I don't really drink like that. But when in Cape Town, why not? Like the wine is the most magnificent wine you can have in the world. So, wine. I had a lot of it. And I had to come home, have a facial. I'm literally dehydrated right now, but thank you, Ali. What are the differences between African American men and African men when it comes to relationship? Oh, I'm gonna put that one on pause. It's not dangerous at all. Ashley's propaganda. Of course, all of the violence and crime is concentrated with where foreigners will never go. Literally. Like I didn't even see Cape Town Flats. I looked. I was like, can we go to Cape Town Flats? Do you know somebody that knows somebody? We didn't go. but it's concentrated. It has to be, because the people with the money would not have it. And the majority of that town are people with money. So it's just impossible for the entire town to be the most dangerous place on earth. It's just impossible. I don't like that South Africa allows guns to the citizens, while in most African countries it's not legal. Well, I mean, South Africa, it gets a lot of its influence from the West, and that's where the guns come from. So the guns are manufactured in places like the US. And, you know, that's how you keep economic and intercontinental relationships. Sorry, that's not intercontinental. It's how you keep foreign relationships open. Can you talk more about the business trips you're planning in 2023? Oh, thanks, Kimberly. Um, yeah, so I'm definitely planning a trip in 2023 to Tanzania for people that are interested in business, specifically tech, real estate, and agriculture. That will likely be the summer of 2023 in US times. Like in the West, in Africa, it's typically considered winter, but it will likely be summer 2023, July, August time. And then in South Africa, we'll be doing a business trip in probably November 2023, which would be fall in the US, summer in South Africa. And we'll also be touching on real estate, and we'll be talking on renewable energy and Web3, right? So we'll be focusing on different business interests, one in Tanzania, one in South Africa. So as soon as I secure those dates, you will be the first to know. Stay tuned. And just stay tuned to the channel, ashleyinafrika.com, on my Instagram. I'll definitely be announcing those and opening registration. It's going to be a small group. So I'm not going to allow, I think, any more than probably about 15 people. I personally don't like to travel in large groups. So we're going to keep it small and intimate so that everyone that is there with the intention of investing and doing business. And yeah, so I'm excited. Thank you for asking about that. Never trust on American. I don't drink too. If you do, not too much. I wish you could take a road trip to South Africa so you can just blow your way. Africa is just gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the garden route. I've seen just so many. South Africa is literally beautiful. Like, and I also hear South Africans say that when a foreigner comes with just like this level of like gas, like we are just blown away. A lot of times South Africans will say, wow, we just don't know how great we have it here. And I'm telling you, like South Africa is it. Okay. It is now. It's not even next. Like South Africa is now. And if you aren't in some capacity experiencing South Africa on a deeper level, from a business perspective, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying that it's just a huge space. It's a huge opportunity. It's a place where the lifestyle also matches that, right? So you can be really great and excel in business really well, but you can also just have a lovely lifestyle and an affordable lifestyle. Yeah. So that's my position. I have never considered relocating to Brazil. No. Um, Joy Vive asks, what's the best way to get around and visit the different provinces? Plane. So there's a huge airport in Johannesburg called OR Tambo. It is the largest airport in the country. And so likely all of your international flights will land there in OR Tambo, and you can take a flight out to Cape Town, to Durban, to Eastern Cape. You can take flights all over. You can also drive, it just takes longer. But I recommend flying, right? Because it's efficient and it's accessible. So, yeah, Joy Vive, there is a channel on YouTube, The Real South Africa. I traveled with them personally. They are fantastic. They can book your entire travel experience. They cater it specifically to Americans. So they know exactly what we need and what we're looking for. And if there are certain things that you're interested in specifically, they will make sure to include that in your itinerary. Um, and if you kind of already have an idea of maybe moving around for an extended period of time, you can check out my itineraries on ashleyinafrika.com, where I have full itineraries for my travels to Durban, my travels to Johannesburg, and Cape Town will be going up this week. And I also include expat extras for other itineraries. So if you want real estate agent access, or you want schools, or you may want someone to help you, maybe navigate banking. You may want someone to help you navigate business. I include those extras on the itineraries that list expat extras or expat bonuses. Really affordable. All of the every place, every person has a link, is a Google link. So it's either going to have their Google information, their Google link business, which will actually give you the location, phone number, and or it may even be like a LinkedIn. So if it's a personal professional, may have their LinkedIn professional along with their email and their phone number. Right. So Boo Boo Gang, how easy was it for you to get your TZ business going? Business is not easy anywhere, especially in Africa. So setting up a business is pretty easy. But I was actually just talking to a couple today that are Americans and they've started a business here, a couple businesses, and they just take time. So relationships are everything, especially as a foreigner. You have to build your relationships. And if you're not coming into a community, so that's what we're trying to create with these business trips, are communities of people that are doing business, have done business, and can expedite the process for you as we grow our community of business, business leaders and entrepreneurs. But easy is not the word that I would use. It's definitely a focus on building relationships, and I'm still building relationships, right? Real estate in my country, South Africa, is amazing and breathtaking. Yes, it is, Tavani. It is. It is. I mean, South African real estate is it's unmatched. I love it. Living with some large groups equals responsibility and drama. That's right. So these business groups will be 15, 20 max, but likely closer to 15. Yeah. Why not live in Cape Town as a single mother? Because I don't want to. I could, but I don't want to. So that's why. um, yeah, South Africa has a lifestyles. Yeah, period. Thank you, son of Alkebalan, for putting question. You're the only person that listened. I was still trying to be considerate of answering questions. Thank you for doing that. So when doing business in South Africa, do you plan to make rand dollars or both? Both. Depending on the client, you make rand. Depending on the project, you can make dollars. So I plan on making any currency that I can make while doing business in South Africa. But that's a good question. Does Africa go by your credit there? So, depending on where in Africa, right? I am told that South Africa may source your US credit, your FICO credit score. I've heard that, but then I've also heard that they don't. Cash is king. Here in Tanzania, definitely not. There's no credit checks for anything. But yeah, from my experience, credit is not something that I've used. Now, I do have credit cards and I use my credit cards. But as far as the FICO credit score, it's not something that has been asked of me. But I also have not purchased a home, purchased a car. So that's been my experience. Mtu, watching from Western Cape. Welcome. Did I say it right? MKC, are there any opportunities to invest in crowd farming in TZ? Yes, there are. There are. Would you recommend an African American woman to visit solo or definitely need a group? Visit solo to where? I would recommend doing what you feel best to do. If you feel like you can travel solo, travel solo. If you feel like you travel best in groups, do that. Um, I personally travel solo and I have traveled just fine. I also travel, in couples or in groups. So I do recommend that you pursue joy at all costs and wait for no one if it means delaying your joy, your experience. But if you're talking about safety as a tourist, you'll likely be safe anywhere you go, because you're going to be in areas that are catered to tourists. So you'll be fine. Del Chanel. Do I plan on going back to America? Nope. 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 um, nope. Hapana. Um, yeah, if you're a seasoned traveler, you can visit SA solo for sure. Best business in SA, student accommodation and tourism, tourists wanting to visit. I mean, tourism as an industry across the continent is a great industry to get into for business. Many countries need tourism, um, and they are government initiatives. So you may even have a better chance of getting residency if you have a business in tourism, whether that's Airbnb accommodations, touring companies. And as African Americans, you can create these companies for African Americans because they know that there are economic trends happening where we are traveling to these countries. So, huge opportunity to do tourism, in many ways. Yeah, like doing a hostel. I know a woman here, African American woman, she's building a hostel. I know several people that have Airbnbs that do really well. So, best business, for sure, tourism across the continent. South Africa, yeah, definitely. I just feel like South Africa is so like been popping. Like there are beautiful, magnificent five-star hotels everywhere. Um, but yeah, I mean, you can actually get a business visa and get a waiver with a business visa if you are going to set up a tourism company, and can project the type of revenue that would be needed and create the jobs that could be needed to do that. Huge opportunity. If you can travel to TZ solo, I think you can travel anywhere. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've traveled to Mexico solo, Jamaica solo, Korea solo, Japan solo, Toronto, Canada solo. Yeah. Why not? Mike reading. I'm assuming you're asking why I'm not coming back to America. Because I don't have to. Trinata, you laughing because you know I don't have to. That's why. What US state are you from? So I was born in Boston, Massachusetts, but I spent most of my life, my adult life, in Georgia. Yeah, Atlanta, Georgia, to be specific. I spent a lot of time in working in Miami. So I've lived in Boston, Massachusetts, Atlanta, Georgia, Miami, Florida, Tallahassee, Florida, Tampa, Florida, um, New York, New York, St. Louis, Missouri. Yeah. Thank you. Silibaziso. Did I say it right? I feel like that's not the accent I should be giving to you, Brother Moyo. So thank you. Thank you. Um, why not come back to America? Answered that. Check out the Real South Africa. Yes. Many women. I traveled solo with the Real South Africa. So, yep. Great advice. 15 minutes behind the live. Remember your name for my name for your state trips. Single mom from Atlanta trying to make business moves. Yes, of course. I do remember you, Kimberly. I do. Come to Vancouver. Yeah, it's cold there. I love Boston. Visited twice, and the food is amazing. The food is all right. It's all right. They don't got nothing on South Africa. That's for sure. Have you experienced any racism during your time in South Africa? Mm, so it could be a situation. I don't. What's up, family? Changing the narrative. What's up? So the answer: have I experienced any racism during my time in South Africa? The answer is no. Mm-mm. Nope. I do plan to buy real estate in South Africa. I definitely do. Cape Town was amazing. South Africa, we're a little westernized, so I don't advise people to visit for more African culture. Well, oh, sorry, my sister Moyo. See, let me see how to say it again. Silibaziso. Zilibaziso. Siwabon, yeah, Siwabonga. Is that right? Yeah. So, what was the question? What was the question? Oh, the statement. So, yeah, westernized, but there's still very much culture in South Africa. Um, I for real felt that way. Yes, Trinada. See you later. Facebook Marketplace. What's up, Trinada? Trinada is making her move. She's preparing to move her family. I'm giving all your business. I hope that that's okay. We're so excited for her. Trinada is allowing me to assist her in her journey to moving abroad. And if you have an interest in moving abroad, I'd love to support you too. So, um, so yeah, I experienced culture in South Africa. I love the culture, in fact. So that is something that I don't subscribe to that saying, oh, because it's westernized, it's in, there's infrastructure that there isn't culture. I think, in fact, there is a level of pride that comes with the development that has happened, that has come with the resilience and gaining independence from colonialism, from apartheid regime, that has even with the presence of Western influence, the speaking, the language and the celebrating of heritage and culture is still very much present. I think that that in itself is something to be celebrated and to be in awe of, because it's there, it's still there, and I can see it there. So yeah, I don't subscribe to that, and I get that, because South Africans, as patriotic as y'all are also very critical of yourselves, and saying a lot of what you don't have, but y'all have some of the best people, the best culture, the best, a lot of the best, a lot of the best. South Africa is where it's at. Siabonga. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. Yep. Even the rural areas, right? Even the rural areas, what I love is, yes, it's taking time, but Africans are developing their rural areas, right? They are working and enterprising in the metropolitan cities, and they're coming home and they're developing their rural areas. Is it happening quickly? I mean, to whose standards, right? But it's happening, and it's happening. So I love to see that. And yeah, the weather, that was the only thing. That was the only thing about Cape Town. The weather was different. It was all over the place. It was cold. I actually ended up getting like a little sinus thing, irritation. Um, there was some pollen in the air, so I'm very congested and a bit inflamed. And I sneeze on demand, right? But yeah, it was cold. I was not prepared for that. So all my cute clothes, I didn't really get to rock. I was wearing sweatpants, coats, um, my hiking coat, and all of that. But I look forward to coming back for sure. Am I coming to the coronation of the Zulu King at Moses Mabhida Stadium in Durban on 20th of October? Ooh, I didn't plan on it, but that sounds amazing. I wish I could, but that sounds amazing. I don't think so. Yeah, the real estate would make me a bag. I need that. All right, I don't know what y'all talking about. Rural areas now we have malls built in which kills our culture. Uh, I don't know. I don't want to speak on that, right? Because I can't speak on your culture, except for recognizing that there is a presence of it that is still very rich. Are you having a better experience with your new data? Does SA have something similar that's just a photo? I don't have a data yet. I'm supposed to be meeting her tomorrow, a new one. I do understand that they are available in SA as well. Price just fluctuates, right? Like what I'm learning is it's a high turnover role, and most of the time you're gonna have multiples. Ideally, you don't, and the more you pay, the likely you are to retain somebody that has already been trained. Um, but yeah, no, I didn't track my ancestry. I I I haven't. I haven't done it. Josie is bomb. I'm currently in the UK and have an Airbnb in Rosebank. Ooh, yeah. See, that's what I need to get on that. Um, okay, yes. I'm gonna stand up. Listen, I stand for South Africans. Most of us African Americans that have experienced South Africa for an extended period of time with an open heart and an open mind will stand for South Africans and South Africa because we're just so grateful to have had the experience of South Africa and the welcoming love that we receive when we come to South Africa. Um, so yeah, we gonna stand for y'all for sure, cause y'all stand for me and anybody else in the comments that comes for South Africa. So it's mutual. I say brothers should be given the chance. Ashley, trust me, you will have a husband. Yeah, who said I'm not? Listen, South African men are unmatched. Yes, yes. I am. I'm not single. I'm very much not single. Um, and yeah, but when I talk about it, we'll be ready. I'm ready. When I'm ready, I'll be ready to talk about it. But yeah, yes. What's up, Dr. Assad? Welcome. Vancouver has a beautiful scenery with incredible mountains and the ocean. Right. Simi, are you in Vancouver? Because you're trying to get us to Vancouver, and I don't think we're interested. I don't speak for everyone, but we are focused on South Africa, okay? And it's too cold there. And the mountains are in Cape Town and in South Africa. So we love you. And if you in South Africa and you're just in love with Vancouver, we get it. But if you're in Vancouver, you're South African, come home. We want you back. We want you back. Miseducation of Americans, we have it all. Literally, David, is everything is in South Africa. Everything and more that you could actually anticipate having is in South Africa. We need to look actually up with Mac G. Who is Mac G? Brother Assad is in the building. Bam, bam, bam. What's up, Aaron from Southern Cali? Welcome. You should visit the southern coast in KZN. It's beautiful. Yes, I've been to KZN, not the southern coast though, only the northern coast. And that is an area that is hugely underdeveloped. So I'm down. Listen, y'all think I got big money. I mean, in manifestation terms, I do. Commercial real estate, I don't know. But I'm definitely here for the real estate investment in South Africa. I'm here for it. Just a Fox 305, you're right. That's why we love South Africans. They're welcoming and loving for sure. Michael S., you hear, right? So that's a problem with our people. We be so focused on, I heard this, I heard that. That will be your number one detriment to living the life of your dreams, is someone telling you what they heard and you listening to it. What have you experienced? Not what did somebody else experience that they want to tell you about. Make your decisions in life based on your own experiences, because I had never had a desire, right, to go to Cape Town. And that's really wrong, because it was my dream trip. But once I started getting more familiar with Africa, I was like, I don't need to go to Cape Town. I don't need to go to Cape Town. Johannesburg is where it's at. Durban's where it's at. And look at that. Went to Cape Town, blew my mind. I'm literally mind blown. The most beautiful place I've ever been in my life. And I've been to about 16 countries, right? On 6 continents. Yeah, the only place I haven't been is Australia and Antarctica. 6 continents: Africa, Europe, Asia, North America, South America. 5. 5 continents. So yeah, we got to stop listening to what we hear folks say, right? Yes, the oceans meet. That weather fluctuation is real. I went to the southernmost point, Cape Point, I think is what it's called. Breathtaking. It was just unreal. Like, how does this exist? That is how you know that this is a place that we must take care of. We must cherish this earth that we live on, because the beauty of it is dependent upon, we want it to be here for our children and our children's children and our children's children's children. So we got to take care of this place. And Cape Town is literally that for me. Yeah, Maria, your son went. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. When you coming? Uh-oh. All right, I'm back, y'all. Uh-oh, the comments moving fast. Okay. We're good. Our ride or die, Ashley, for sure. S to the Czar, that's me. Hello from Africa, island of South Tome and Principe. Africa has 6 island state nations. There's so much about this continent that I'm learning. And I love to learn new things. Island of Sao Tome. I need to do some geography on that. I'm not familiar. Thank you, Larato. I appreciate that. Naledi, you see me, girl. You see me, Bay Area in the house. Welcome, Michael. Yeah. Oh, you're actually in Latin America. So, Simi, why are you pushing? Tell us about Vancouver and why it has your heart. We'd love to know. Just give us like 5 words on why you would love it. But I just know we're not. It's too cold. It's too cold for us there. I know, right, Bobby? I go live when I'm in South Africa. South Africa gives me the live vibes, but I'm actually not in South Africa. This is about South Africa. Um, I was just so busy. Like it was a nonstop time in South Africa. We maximized our time. So I didn't get to go live. I didn't get to do anything, but I'm going to share some content for sure. Tim, oh, is TZ bye bye? Yeah, Tanzania is beautiful. I feel like I'll always have a home here. I love it. It means so much to me as a special place in my heart. And as long as things go well for me professionally, here I'll keep doing business here. I love it. But we will be in South Africa pretty soon. So we're looking forward to it. South Africa is a world in one country. It has everything. There are 5 continents, not 6. I know, right? I messed up. So I've been. Well, what about wait, Antarctica? Isn't that one? Would I choose Cape Town over Johannesburg? I mean, I could definitely live in Cape Town. I think. I think. I think. But I see myself being there as more of a family than as like a mom with 2 small kids for social reasons, right? Like it just socially, it's very much, clicky, people that run, people that hike, people that drink wine, people that yacht. Um, and I know that there are mom groups, but it's just a little bit, I think it will be better fit me being in a family in Cape Town. But I love it. Uh-oh. I need to get to SA. I was in Kenya. Yeah, I haven't been to Kenya. I was actually going to go to Kenya, but I missed my time to go. So probably next month, I'm going to visit Nairobi. June, not January. I don't know what you mean, Maria. Your messages from your videos are very powerful. Welcome to the homeland, and you are the daughter who has stolen from Africa. Oh, Arti, Arlitio Castillo. Asante sana. Thank you. I'm really shocked sometimes that the messages resonate the way that they do. I always like to talk, y'all, but I'm grateful that what I have to say is resonating with the people that it resonates with. And it means just the world to me to be in community with like minded people because I think oftentimes when you live this alternative lifestyle of an expat, it's one thing to be a traditional expat, right? And live in the Bahamas, the Caribbean, Europe, even. But when you decide to move to Africa, it can be a very isolating experience from the people that you've known your whole life. And I talk about that with you all, semi often, but it can be really isolating. So I have found so much comfort and wisdom and community in being able to commune with people like you, people on this channel, other people that share their experience, Dr. Assad changing the narrative, offering insight, support, guidance, just comfort, right? Because it can be very isolating and it can make you reconsider yourself. Um, so I'm just grateful that you guys support, you girls support, you people support, you provide value to the community, you teach me things, you challenge me, and you help me grow, ultimately. So yeah, appreciate that. It was just an intermission of gratitude. um, Thank you, Juan. I've experienced nothing but hospitality, love, and just warm welcome in South Africa for sure. Do you plan to visit Rwanda? I hear you're doing business is easy there. I do plan to visit Rwanda. I do, right? There is an ease of business doing there. Um, but I probably today, I don't know that it'll be on my list of doing business there, but not because of any reason other than um, I'm just not. I am literally very focused on growing the business here in Tanzania and South Africa, and that is a lot. It's a lot right now. So that's enough for me. I'm taking it slow. And I'm not in the business of doing a lot of hard work, especially now with my two young girls. So I'm having to manage my time and making sure that I can be effective and efficient with the time that I do have. Have gone for wine tastings, investing in it. Tim, where you going? Let me hold some money. Let me get some rand. You got some rand I could borrow because you have all of these plans for what I should invest in, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the confidence, Tim. Um, I do. I do. I appreciate it. Wine business is huge in Cape Town. I mean, and the prices are the margins. What? The margins are huge. It's just I'm working on it, Tim. Give me some time, okay? Let me get about 2 more years in. Okay? And I'll be there. But I appreciate your confidence for sure. Like I have to look at that and take I really take that as a compliment. Just a Fox looking at the real estate in Cape Town is expensive. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's luxurious living in Cape Town. Luxury. That's my type of living. So it's absolutely. Check out Velile Lifestyle. Yes, Velile is my sis, my auntie, really. She's not my sis, she's my auntie. I love her. Her and her husband just celebrated 35 years of marriage, I think, 35 or 40. She's an amazing woman. I love her. Juan, you wrong, Juan. You loud and wrong, but that's okay. Hi, Mimi. Yeah, African landscape is magnificent. Is there anything you miss about the US? No. Maybe give me a couple years and maybe there will be, but today, nope, there isn't. Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks, guys, for liking this stream. Thank you. Silibaz oh, Silibaziso. I'm trying to say it too fast and I need to slow it down, but I'm gonna get it. Silibaziso. Thank you for calling to action, everybody. Like the stream. Oh, you're just joking. Well, thanks, Watt. Are you moving to SA next year? Yes, Bobby, I am. Thank you, Booth, Booth Thank you. Yes, family would think you moved to another planet. Yes, so think you moved to the dark side of the planet, like that. They're like the sub zone, like death. Meanwhile, this is literally heaven on earth, right? My Zulu is good. Oh, see abonga. Hey, hey. Is there anything you miss about the U.S.? No. Oh, no. That's what I answered. Many African Americans go to Ghana because citizenship opportunities. I have not. Um, I haven't considered Ghana. I haven't not considered Ghana, but I love South Africa, and who knows? I may decide one day to go to Ghana. Right? Like isn't that the beauty of life that we have choices? And once you can push through one fear of making a choice that may scare you and you do it, like you're more willing to try something new again. But I feel like South Africa is really a place where I would want to live long term. I would love to visit all places on the continent and explore. Um, but yeah, I love South Africa, and I feel like it feels like a place where I could actually live, settle, and build and grow. So I love y'all in the comments. Thanks, Dial. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support in the comments. Yeah, so those were 5 things that I really wasn't ready for. And I'm so grateful that I didn't listen to the what I heard. Oh, I heard South Africa is white. Why go there? It's got as much racism as America. Let me tell you something. It doesn't. That's a lie. It's wrong. Are there things that happen? Yes, but it's no comparison to America. And anybody who tells you that is lying. It is not the same as. Are there similarities in our history? Possibly. Are there things that happen? Yes, possibly. But is it anything like what Black people today are dealing with in America today? Is that happening simultaneously in South Africa? I just don't see it. It hasn't happened to me. It hasn't happened to anybody that I know living in South Africa that moved from the US. Are there challenges? Yes, but not in a situation like America. So I'm glad that I could validate your experience, or even, if you're feeling this yearning, do it. Do it. I'm so happy that I did it. I'm so happy that I went to Cape Town despite what everybody had to say about me going or not going, um, and shouldn't go or do. Thanks. But I'm glad. I'm glad that I went, and I literally had the most memorable experience of my life. So stop listening to folk. Pursue your joy at all costs, relentlessly. And you may go through some experiences that are less than favorable, right? It might take a lot out of you. But if you are pursuing your joy with a good heart and the right intentions, it will work out in your favor. So, yeah, I appreciate y'all so much. If you have an interest in moving to the continent, expanding your business to specifically Tanzania or South Africa, I'd love to work with you. I'd love to support you on your journey. Connect with me via the link in my bio, in the description below. Get on my calendar. I've got a bunch of resources. The Cape Town travel itinerary is going up this week. And if y'all want me to go live, let me know. Let me know more. I know. I need to be going live. I don't need to ask. I already know the answer to the question. So maybe we'll do this every week. But again, it's just hard with the kids. I just have to be honest. I have to be honest. Children they're just, we just never know, right? But yeah, I appreciate y'all. Did you already speak about the educational system for the girls in Dar compared to SA? No, I didn't. I'll answer that question for you. I told friends I don't want to be at SA next year. So much negativity, danger, danger, danger. You're right. I am. I'm super open to answering questions. So yeah, I will do more lives. And I'm going to answer your question. Joy Vive. Yeah. Just, you know who to share your dreams with and who not to share your dreams with. I've learned that the hard way. And I'm still learning that, actually, as I still try to preserve certain relationships that I feel like people don't mean any harm. But the reality is, like, I can only allow in people that are meant to fortify the who I am now. And I don't have the capacity to do all of the things just because I actually do have the capacity, right? So it's not my job, just because I do have the capacity, to support people that may not mean me well, right? So I'm a gallon and I'm dealing with a bunch of leaders. And just because I have the capacity doesn't mean that they are for me, and my overflow is for them. So I've learned that. So share your dreams selectively. for sure. And educational system, Sikia's way, I can't really speak on it just yet because the girls aren't in school yet. They'll start school in January. But from my understanding, I'm actually going to be enrolling them in government school. And I'll be enrolling them in, what is said to be one of the best schools in the country. And it's a government school. And so, based on that alone, it will save me at least a few $1,000s a year. And I was raised in public school, and these public schools are totally different than the ones I went to. But yeah, so they will be going to government school. They likely won't be going to private school, at least initially. And I'm looking forward to it, right? The system is a bit different. The grades will be a bit different just based on their age, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to them learning another African language. So they'll definitely be taking Zulu at this school. Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining me on the live. Look out for more lives from me soon. Like the stream, share it with someone who could find value within what I've been talking about. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.